it would be drama. We started those early drama situations.
For Olujimi Solanke, the love for drama, singing and dance took its roots as a member of the church choir back in secondary school, a time when he was introduced to different musical experiments as a growing boy. This love was further heightened by performances he witnessed at some nightclubs in Ibadan, and crowned by his admission into the School of Drama at the university level. Described as the master storyteller, Jimmy Solanke established himself in Los Angeles, California, a place where his storytelling career took off. He later returned to Nigeria in the early 80s and began work with the NTA, an organization he worked with while still under the brand name WNTV. In 1982, he facilitated a Storyland Children's Program workshop at the NTA Television College, Jos. This gave birth to the folktale program Storyland on the NTA. Interestingly, Jimmy Solanke was a member of the pioneer cast of The Village Headmaster, a vintage drama production of the NTA.
A lot of people are not even believing the fact that I am more of a drama person than of a music person, because we went to the first school of drama in Africa. Now, see all the series we did with the NTA. Nobody even knew I was George Odunuga in The Village Headmaster. The very first series of Village Headmaster, I was George Odunuga, the brother of the Odunuga. So, we can imagine.
Will you people stop talking about that bush lawyer as if he's a legal luminary from Lagos?
Well, we need a lawyer. Either it's from the bush or from Lagos. And lawyer, that is the only one we can find around.
A thespian, storyteller, and co-entertainer, Jimmy Solanke has starred in several stage plays, drama productions, and storytelling television series. Some of these include Overawen Ogbaisi, Langbodo, Kurumi, Our Husband Has Gone Mad Again, Path to New York, Storyland, and many more. For one who was ostracized from his family because he chose to follow his dream, Jimmy Solanke has won several awards. He is married to Margaret Oluwatoyin Solanke, and they are blessed with 4 children.
Well, wonderful profile there, and it can only come from people, who work with the NTA, and I'm sure that is you should be maybe thinking of maybe one day joining the service and then coming to equally show, some of those great talents you've got there. Wonderful profile. That was Jimmy Solanke. Anyway, now let's go a bit outside this, and let's look at what is making the round these days, particularly among the women folk. It is traditional, that whenever you want to go out for maybe some of those big occasions and all of that, and so you need to just dress to match, dress to the occasion, really. And today is fashionable because sometimes there's this headgear the women use. They call it gele. Today, it is no longer, you sit back, begin to struggle to see how you tie it alone and all of that. There is the auto gele, where you just pick it and then put it on. Let's watch how it's done. Gele.
The gele is part of any dressy look, which has lately become one of the most popular fashion accessories for women of different ages, cultures, and traditions. They are usually worn to weddings and other traditional occasions, mostly worn as a matching piece to stylish outfits. They are tied in different ways, such as the bridal gele, turban gele, rose gele, and much more. It is really great to see traditional Nigerian fashion evolving with time, without losing its essence. Inspired by the traditional gele, the auto gele is a quick and easier way to tie the gele. But more importantly, it is a chic and trendier way to complement any Asoebi outfit. The auto gele serves as a game changer, a ready-to-wear gele, tied to perfection. The update is definitely worth trying, as we all love to look stunning, regardless of how one intends to stand out. The auto gele is your good-to-go look any day, anytime.
Yes, let's welcome you back from that beautiful feature. You watch Fashion Forward, and I think what was being shown there was the gele issue, the gele thing. I think this should be very, very good for maybe women. Ruth, I know you would have loved what was being shown there. But anyway, we are back to the studio, and right here we are continuing with discussions with some of our ace broadcasters, those who have made who had made NTA the way it's been, and those who have actually weathered the storm for us to get what we are getting now, and for us to even have the hope of where we are going to tomorrow. We are joined in the studio here by, this time, not a programmer, not a news person, but a core admin personnel of the NTA in those days. We are joined in the studio here by Mr. Daniel Atiku Shintema. He retired here as the director admin of NTA. You're welcome to our studio, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well, we'll be discussing quite a number of things, how it used to be, how it was then, and vis-a-vis what we are seeing today, and perhaps trying to like fashion a way on how we are going to get forward. But let me just open this with you, sir. We are celebrating 40 years of NTA's existence, and we're trying to look at where we are coming from and perhaps maybe where we are going to. Let's find out from you, how was it in your days in NTA then? How was NTA?
NTA was very good in terms of togetherness. We worked like one family, even though we performed different functions, but we were able to be together as a family. Every person was doing what he or she was supposed to be doing, and everything was going on very fine. The work was good, even though we cannot say that the pay has been very good, but we enjoyed the work so much. That time we enjoyed doing the work. There was job satisfaction, and our bosses appreciated us because we gave
the best,
our best to the authority.
Okay. And back then in 1981, you were the first head of administration, NTA TV College, Jos.
Yes.
Now you have had your own share of experience when we're talking administration, which is the backbone of any organization. Now, in terms of efficiency, structure, and strategy to move the organization forward, how would you say we have fared?
When you compare NTA with well, there's no basis of comparison anyway, because NTA is a very large network. The first in Africa started as NTA, the Ibadan station started NTA. Coming from those days, like I told you, everything went on fine. We worked like a family. Whether you were news programs, engineering, or whatever, we were one. Programs were on air all the time. Very good programs, produced by staff of the authority. You know, things change. As we progressed, things also began to change. We began to lay emphasis also on producers outside who would make programs and sell to NTA. We can't say those things are bad, but it also limited what the staff should be doing. We had staff who could do that, but for one reason or the other, we now have to rely on outside producers bringing in things. Yet, I think NTA has kept the, what can I say, the goal: inform, educate, entertain, and then expand or get the policies of government across to people, get feedback for government. In that regard, we have been doing fine.
What about the area of administration?
Well, administration in any organization is a continuous process. Okay? Whether you are in programs, whether you are in news, or in the admin itself, or marketing, administration is there. What is administration? Simply put, administration is how, first, you manage staff. And that is not to say that it is just the core department of administration that has to manage staff. If you are working with people, if you are a supervisor, you have people working on you, you are an administrator.
Yes.
The way you relate with your staff is administration. Then when you go outside, how we prepare the places, offices, conveniences, cleaning up the environment, and the rest of them, all those are also admin work. Then, of course, bringing in staff. When I say bringing in staff, we're talking about employment.
Yeah.
That's also what the core admin department does in conjunction with the line managers. By the line managers, we mean those who do the core thing that NTA is established to do: news, programs, engineering, and so on. So we relate with them in order to bring in staff who should now do the work that NTA has made available for them to do. So administration, yes, is going on fine. If up to the time I left, that is about 9 years ago, I cannot say now because I'm not in the system. I can say that who in administration, we are doing what we were supposed to do. And I believe that is still going on.
Yes.
Except if you can counter that.
Yes, I really was going to get to that point where we begin to look at what it is today, how it was then. But the conversation we've always had here, and part of the narrative that people have come here to tell us, was more like, then there was so much. People were motivated so much to giving in their best, and so that was evident in some of the best, programs we had then. You can name them. Some of them are even the ones we even use now to tell the story of NTA. Yes. I would like to find out, in terms of making people to give in their best, motivation and all of that, what was the secret? What were you doing in that area that actually was giving, bringing out so much, from staff then?
Yes, there's what we call in administration or management generally, we say motivation. And that is where you are going. First of all, the person that is working is a motivator by himself. If you don't motivate yourself, then nobody else will motivate you. It is when you start motivating yourself that, okay, maybe others will make inputs. Well, in those days, as I told you, there was self-motivation. The job was satisfying. Everybody loved the job. That's the first motivation. The love of the job. And that comes from the person doing the job.
Yes.
And it appeared all of us loved what we were doing. Okay? Now, these days, I know that when we talk about motivation, people talk of pay. At that time, we didn't consider pay. Well, pay was very important.
But it wasn't the sense of motivation then.
Well, it was an aspect of motivation.
Okay.
But the real motivation was the job satisfaction, which all of us had.
Okay.
Okay? But today, what people talk about is salary, pay, welfare. And when you talk about welfare, the way I look at it and the way I understand it from the point of view of people who talk about it is always money, money, money. But money is not everything. Okay? But this is the area of concentration now by many members of staff. But in those days, it wasn't so. The job would come first. And like I told you, another aspect of motivation is appreciation of what you have done. Yes. And our bosses appreciated a lot. Once somebody tells you, for instance, oh, what would I have been if not for you? That is motivation.
True.
Are you going to fail that person in any aspect again? Somebody who has given you so much hope. Okay? So that was what was keeping us.
Well, if we look at the trend today in terms of productivity, now challenges are inevitable in any organization. Yes, the challenges are there, but if we want to talk about productivity, what do we need to do differently in order to move forward, which is the sole aim of, you know, the organization?
Well, except if you are telling me that you are not working well. If you are working well, you should be able to move the organization forward.
Okay.
What is disturbing you is what you should bring out and tell management that this is what is making me maybe not to put up my best, or what is disturbing my performance.
Okay, so
okay? There should be
a sense of communication.
Line of communication between you and whoever is supervising you, so that the person supervising you will understand that, look, this person I've given so assignment. He or she is not performing well because of so reason. What can I, as a supervisor, do to assist this person? So you have to bring whatever your problems are and put on the table.
True.
And discuss with your supervisor, and then collectively agree. Okay? That's one aspect of motivation. Another one is that when you are being given assignment, you will sit. Your supervisor will sit. You discuss that assignment. It's not to impose an assignment on you. You discuss areas of your weaknesses. He will take note of that. If there is adjustment in that assignment, he will tell you. You will do the adjustment, so that both of you now will come to an agreement as to what should be done. And once that has been done, it means you have accepted to do that assignment. He too has accepted that you should do that assignment. So there will be no room for failure any longer. And once you are doing it and you encounter any problem, you run back. That is how to move any organization forward.
Well, but when we are talking about aspects of motivation, the job motivating you, and the emphasis on the fact that then concern was not so much in terms of the monetary aspect, because the job satisfaction was there. Yes, agreed. Looking at broadcasting, looking at what we do in NTA, which is about 80% equipment base, and you are running a production. The equipment are not there. You don't have enough of it. You don't have enough of those things that, because some of us grew up knowing NTA, knowing the producer going out for an assignment, you know, with a trophy of maybe cars following him and all of that. The cameras were there. Everything was just there. And today, perhaps, maybe the scenario is not the same. What should be done in this place to get back, to win back that process as we had it then?
First of all, let me also establish that it isn't that in those days we had complete complements of equipment, but whatever we had, proper use of those things were made. Proper care of those things, you know, was taken. But I don't know whether it is still the same today. I think we have even more equipment these days than what we used to have. But how are these equipment being managed by the users of those equipment? That is the question. Are they managing these things well? When you take out a camera, do you check it? When you come back, do you check it? If you check and something is wrong, do you report? These are the things that we keep equipment, in order. Okay? And how you treat the equipment, where you dump them or you put them or you store them, are they in the correct places? Okay? Of course, management has its own part to play. They have to ensure that the correct equipment are bought, serviced, and placed before the workers so that they can do their work. But once this is done and everything is now in your hands, those who handle the equipment, it behoves on you to ensure that you handle these things properly.
And if we look at the capacity of staff strength for NTA, we've got the numbers. And for NTA to continue to be that trendsetters, which we've always been for years now, but you agree with me that right now, because of digitization, the competition is really high. Now, if we must continue to be the trendsetters that we ought to be, what should we do differently? In terms of capacity building?
Well, in terms of capacity building, of course. Capacity building involves so many things, but the key ones are you keep training and retraining yourself in order to keep you yourself with the correct knowledge, the correct skills, in order to meet up with the demands of the day. Okay? And I think we have TV College that does that. As far as I know, or I used to know, if there were developments in terms of new equipment or new trends in engineering or whatever, NTA would send people even abroad to go and learn and come back so that they can also train others here. That one, I know that was the trend. Whether it is still the trend today, as I told you, I cannot say because I left NTA
9 years ago.
So
Do you still miss this place?
Pardon?
Do you still miss the family? It's a family.
Certainly. If you have worked in NTA, you cannot afford just to forget the setup, because we've always, we worked, and I believe it still continues. We worked as a family. Let me tell you, there is nowhere where you have NTA today that I will go and will not feel at home. Because I'm received everywhere. The smallest to the biggest station in Nigeria. That is how the family is. So I missed NTA a lot. But then, this is life. Sometimes we are here, sometimes we are there. And finally, sometimes I'll leave the world.
And the theme for this celebration is 40 years for nation building. And NTA has continued to unite people from different backgrounds together. Now, in terms of unity in our diversity and also promoting that national development, which is what we are tasked with as the media outfit for the government, what should we continue to do to promote unity in Nigeria?
Continue to work in accordance with the tenets of broadcasting, according to all the regulations as always given by the National Broadcasting Commission, and those that we also develop within NTA ourselves. And over the years, we have put the country together through our program, news, and the rest of them, because we follow professionally how broadcasting should be done. Those younger ones who are just coming, they should be patient and learn the ropes and learn what should be done. They shouldn't be in a hurry. The unity of Nigeria is uppermost. So let us all cooperate and learn first before you go out and do a thing. If you don't do that, you are likely going to fail. And that unity that we are promoting, one word on air can set up some beliefs.
Sure.
That is why we say, okay, let people learn and let the management, I appeal to the management too, to continue to do orientation for staff, especially those who are coming into the industry as first timers, before they handle anything, before they go on air. Even those who pressurize them to go on air, they should ask them to be patient. Their time will come. All those veterans that you are now eventually, they didn't just come and then just start doing everything. No, they learned. They followed what were laid down.
Yeah,
and they followed the examples of those who were there before them.
Yes,
okay?
and equally, sir, taking it from that aspect of learning, which goes back again to the aspect of training, and vis-a-vis the fact that your days at the television college. Now, there is a seeming problem, and because what you commonly find these days is a lot of staff of NTA not trained to do what they're supposed to do. And sometimes if you go across to the stations, the NTA stations, the scenario is such that because of paucity of funds, because of the challenges of diesel to run their transmitters, to run their transmissions and all of that, the stations can't afford money to send staff on training to the television college. What, as an administrator, you were and you are still, what do you think we should do, to get ourselves out of this quagmire?
Well, you have just given me a lineup of problems that stations face, and I cannot just overlook those problems. Otherwise, I would have said TV college is there. TV college was established primarily to do what I have just said: train, retrain, train, retrain. And the college is still there. And to the best of my knowledge, it is still running courses. So probably what I can just advise management now is that they have to look into the problems of the stations so that they can still or continue to benefit from what the TV college is established to do. In those days, when we started the TV college about 1980-81, and started running courses, if any station failed to send staff for training, that station would be sanctioned by the Director General. But if the stations are now left on their own to take decisions, a lot of them, even if they have the resources, they will prefer to do other frivolous things with those resources. So it is very difficult. Let the management think about this serious problem that you have brought up, and let us see how. The TV college should not be left to die. Okay? It is there. It is meant for a serious training purpose. So let it be utilized.
Just a parting word. 40 years we have been, and perhaps looking forward to the next 40, 50, 100 years to come. What is that parting word you have for NTA as we celebrate these 40 years?
I say, NTA, well done. NTA, continue to do well. Continue, and continue. Management and staff work together and continue to move the authority forward. All your problems, God will solve.
I don't know what he's like.
In the hands of God.
Yes, but no, seriously, we do appreciate your perspective in this issue, and yes, we commend your efforts during your tenure when you were serving. Thank you so much for coming on the show to talk about NTA. Yes, the whole essence of this celebration is to move the organization forward, and will continue to be Africa's largest TV network. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We have been speaking with Mr. Atiku Daniel Shintema. He was one-time General Manager at NTA Jos in 2002 and also former Director Administration here from the Nigerian Television Authority. And yes, we've been talking about issues concerning the authority. Now, no organization can move forward. It will be difficult without a proper administration faculty There's a whole lot to do. And I know someone who is already doing so much. He's young, he's vibrant, and he's good at what he does. Roland Rickett is our rising star.
God said you will be great. He said that I will be great too. Things may not look the way they should be, but I know God's word is sure and true. He's done his part. It's time for you to do yours. Go lay down if you try. He's done his part. It's time for you to do yours. Go lay down. Go lay down.
My name is Roland Rickett. I studied microbiology at Leeds City University, Ibadan. I was born to a musical family, so dad used to play, everybody in the house used to play. Then, because I was in that environment, I just developed this skill. My musical influences, we have Jimmy Cleve, we have Johnny Nash, we have Jonathan Butler, we have Lucky Dube, we have J Moss. There are lots of them, but these ones I mentioned, at least I grew up listening to these guys. Basically, I get to see a lot of young people, or not just young people, lots of people try to, once they can't do something, they attribute it to something spiritual. People tend to put a whole lot of responsibility on God for things they should do for themselves. I'm not saying depending on God is wrong, yes, but I know there are some things God will not come down to do for us. So the song, a line in the song, or two lines in the song say, God has done his part. It's time for you to do yours. It's time for you to take responsibility for your life, for you to take charge, basically. The major challenges are marketing and promotion. Marketing, number one, because I don't want to speak negative. As regards promo, you know, there are many artists, there are many songs. So it's challenging to stand out. There are lots of good songs, but not everybody is a star. There are a lot of good songs that have not been heard. Number one, fulfillment. When I do it, I'm happy. I do it without stress. I love it. I enjoy myself. You don't have to force me to do it. You wake me up like this, I get it done. You know, music is a very good tool with which we pass information. It brings me to the fact that our lyrics, or I feel most of the songs that we should listen to, or most of the songs we as artists should project, are songs that have positive messages. Someone might not take your advice when you say it, probably because of the tone with which you're saying, because most times when people are giving advice, there's either this harsh tone or something. And so, but music has a way of getting into people without them even knowing. A lot of people are depressed, but they hear a song that tells them how good they are or how they should be. It gets into their psyche. So I've seen the lives of people get changed. I've seen habits dropped. I've seen people get better just by listening to positive music. So it's a really strong tool. Seeing that alone makes me happy. For everybody, I would say consistency is key. Yes, it might not look like it. You might not be getting the kind of results you want to get. You might not be seeing it. Yes, but the more you keep at it, the better you get. Yes, it's just a matter of time. You will reap the fruits of your effort. Then another thing I see is, you know, this music we're doing, it's about the consumer, not necessarily about us. So character is key. Your talent can take you up, but it's your character that will keep you up there. I think the music industry is already big and it's getting bigger. I know a Nigerian has been nominated for the Grammys, but no Nigerian has won it yet. I hope a Nigerian gets to win it soon, but that level, I see Africa, Nigeria through Africa, or Africa through Nigeria taking over. If you ask me, the future is here. There's an album that's supposed to come out late March, early April. A couple of singles will be coming out back to back, as in week in, week out, as from first week of March. God's done his part. It's time for you to do yours. If you try, God's done his part. It's time for you to do yours.
Koledaruo.
I didn't know you can sing.
Koledaruo.
Really?
A microbiologist turned musician.
Yes.
How about that?
And how about this talent you just showed us?
I have it already, and I'm just waiting for when I'm going to blow the scene.
Okay, but Roland is one great guy,
Yeah,
and
he
I
is.
love his ideologies.
He is,
you know,
yeah.
you have to put in so much effort, so much work. Like what his song is saying, God has done his part; it's left for you. So,
Yeah.
like what they always say, just put your best and leave
Yeah.
the rest to God.
Yeah.
So well done, Roland. We celebrate you. Let's go on a break. Weekend Deal. We'll be back.
Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Sir Ahmadu Bello, Chief Obafemi Awolowo.
These patriots worked together to achieve independence for one united Nigeria. Although some may say Nigeria is a mistake, we all know that the Almighty never makes mistakes.
God has not made a mistake by bringing us all together in the way that He has brought us together. God has put us together here so that we can build a community that will be an example to the entire world.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Can I see your particulars, sir?
Officer, my particulars no dey here.
In that case, you'll have to come with me to the police station.
Officer, which levels? Where I for find you something make you take arrange your weekend.
What? Offense number 1, driving without particulars. Offense number 2, trying to bribe an officer of the law.
I won't harass Nigerians or take bribe. Change begins with me.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
During a successful meeting between the organizers of the first National Grassroots Sports Festival, Sports for All, with stakeholders who requested for shift in date and subsequent presentation at the National Council on Sports meeting, the first National Grassroots Sports Festival, Sports for All, has been shifted to 19th to 29th of April 2018. Venue, National Stadium, Abuja, packages A and B. This is an opportunity for state government, public and private organizations, companies and individuals to promote their achievements and brand through the festival. For broadcast sponsorship, contact Angelo Peter I. Elosia, Chairman and Chief Coordinator, or Nick Oyinsi. Organizers, Grassroots International Sports Academy and LOP Worldwide Television. Endorsed by the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development. Broadcast partner, NTA, the largest television network in Africa.
NTA Television College, Jos, an affiliate of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, is organizing a 2-week course in broadcast media management techniques. The course will be facilitated by iconic media managers and administrators such as Dr. Tony O. Iradia, former DG, NTA. Date 5th to 16th March 2018. Course fee 100,000 naira per participant. Accommodation inclusive. Also, a 4-week course in principles and practice of marketing. We hold from 19th March to 13th April 2018. Cost fee 100,000 naira per participant. Accommodation inclusive. Venue for both courses will be the NTA Television College, Rayfield, Jos. Both courses are specially designed to hone the skills of participants in the dynamic broadcast media space. The broadcast media management technique course targets participants from grade level 10 to 15 and shall deal with critical management functions that affect job performance. Principles and practice of marketing course has been packaged to help participants acquire relevant knowledge and skills in all aspects of digital marketing, public relations, market research, strategies, and management. For further enquiries, contact 0806 908 9807, 0703 660 7155, or email ntacollege@gmail.com. NTA Television College, training you to be the best you can be.
Thank you for staying with the deal and on the dial. Now let's talk yam. I love it. One of my favorite meal. I love it fried, roasted, boiled. Only the raw I've not tried and I will never try. But let's ask you, how do you like your yam? That's a feature on yam.
Yams are tropical tuber crops. They are mainly cylindrical in shape with rounded ends. There are many varieties of yam, some of which include the white yam, yellow yam, and water yam. But the most common is the white yam, which is also called the sweet yam. Yam can be used to prepare a wide variety of recipes, like pounded yam, which is mostly eaten in some parts of Nigeria, fried yam, beans and yam, to mention but a few. How do you prefer to eat your yam?
I'm eating my yam in boil now.
Why now?
Why I eating it like that? Because in my place, my daddy is a farmer. Then my daddy producing yam well. Actually, me by myself, I'm not using to eat pounded yam. But boiled one, I like it very well.
See, my husband's place, they usually pound yam. But in Abuja here, where I am staying, we usually eat yam. And we use it to cook asharo. And we can eat it at times like that.
Pounded yam, but I prefer eating it porridge because I'm an Igbo girl. So I eat it porridge and I slice it with egg, as in cooking it with egg.
Yam is so important that it can be dried and made into yam flour, which the Yorubas popularly call amala. Yam contains a whole lot of nutritional values. It is a good source of energy. It contains dietary fiber, which helps reduce constipation.
We have the white yam, we have the yellow yam, we have the bitter one. All of them, they contain the carbohydrates and also the minerals also. But when you talk about beta carotenoids, is present in the yellow yam. That's why you have the color different from the white yam and the others. That's the advantage the colored one has over the white one. And what are the benefits of this carotenoid? It's rich in vitamin A, which is good for vision, good eyesight. So I think that's just the major difference, the major advantage over the others. Then the nutritional benefits of the new yam. New yam, because it is new, we observe that when you eat the new yam, majorly it is soft, very softer than the old ones. As a result of the high moisture content, there is still much moisture, and by so doing, there is still much nutrients present in the yam.
Ensure to purchase yam because it's always cheaper and you have lots to choose from.
Okay.
Well, Ruth, I don't think those people even know how to, what it takes to eat yam. Yam is better eaten when you it this way. I'm sure they pounded.
I love pounded yam, but the only thing, I don't know why it's not showing on me.
No, you just need to go the extra mile because I think it's the attachment that is not getting on well, because when you attach it with that white, something.
But, aside the eating of the yam, let's also look at the economic benefits. Now, we started exporting yam last year, sometime in June, and the technical committee on yam exports program, Nigerian yam export program, has said that the target is to export 480 tons every month. That's equivalent to 20 containers. Yeah. And the sold target for the year, like annually, will be like $10 billion. Now, yes, there are challenges if we have to export these yams, but if the hiccups have been filled up, I know we'll move forward if we're talking diversification of the economy. Yeah,
I think much should be done in that regard if actually that's the target, because there are people who are ready to cultivate these yams.
Yes, and it's a big business.
Yeah, support should be given. I think there's need for government to do more by supporting the farmers. Anyway, that's our feature on yam, but let's go a bit further to see this unhealthy living. How do you eat? What does it give? What do your meals and all of that offer you? Let's look at this feature on healthy living.
But they fail to understand that healthy eating is not about strict nuts, staying unrealistically thin, or depriving yourself of foods you love, but learning how to eat smart. Not just what you eat, but how you eat it, as it is not the quantity, but the quality that matters. Your food choices can reduce your risk of illness, such as heart diseases, cancer, diabetes, and as well as act as a defense against depression. How does one's food choices affect or reduce their risk of illness? For you to determine what you want to eat, there are a lot of things, guiding factors, that will make you determine what, even cash at hand. That means your budget, your finances, will make you determine what to eat. Now, when we say food choices and we're talking about healthy living now, making healthy choices, you have to focus on what your body needs. A vital point to note with eating healthy is moderation. Moderation is the key for any healthy diet, as we all need a balance of carbohydrates, protein, fat and oil, fiber, vitamins, minerals, and water to sustain a healthy body. Listening to your body is important in maintaining a healthy eating habit. Make an effort to eat breakfast, as this can help start your metabolism, and eating small healthy meals is better. What easy tips are essential for planning a healthy diet? Follow natural foods. And most natural foods are readily available, and they are very cheap. They are not expensive. Avoid processed foods. Avoid refined foods, especially refined carbohydrates. Avoid canned foods. Avoid saturated foods. Go for natural foods. And take a lot of fluid. I think those are the healthy tips that we need to live a healthy life. Consistency is the key to a healthy diet. So be consistent to enjoy the
Okay, so that report was on healthy eating. Processed, canned, saturated, like she said, these are the foods we must avoid. And eating healthy is, sometimes when I think of it, Passmon, fruits especially and veggies, they're the cheapest, but still we find it really difficult sometimes to just indulge in these meals, which will make us healthy. I think it's attitudinal. Some people just don't want to, maybe they feel that maybe going the other way is modernity and all of that, and so you want to show off and all that, so the in thing should be there. But they forget that going natural and going from farm to plate. From farm to plate. That is just the best. And the children are even the ones that bear the brunt more, because we tend to spoil our children with processed foods. Let's eat right. What next? Anyway, let's look at
the process of fixing nail, the art of it, is going to center on how to fix your nails. You know, some of those little things, you know, girls do these days. And let's watch how it is done, the art of it.
Nail art is a creative way to paint, decorate, enhance, and embellish the nails. It is a type of artwork that can be done on fingernails and the toenails. Nail design trend has caught the craze among women and young girls. Nail art design comes in variation and styles. Nail art are of different types, which include the acrylic nail, crystal nail, and the gel nail. Our nail artist will be making the gel nail.
Today we are working on gel nails. These are the materials we are using for the gel nail. This dissolver, this cotton wool, this cortez and cortical, buffer, the nails, spark glue, and nail file. So these are the things we are going to use for the gel nails. This is how we are going to do it today. I want to start. First, I'll go with this I'll use nail remover to clean the nails first. Now I'll use nail file to file it first. Then I'll use cortical to remove some things in the hand, like dirt and all those things. You have to use this. This I'm going to use it. The nails. Going to fix the nails now. You know, we have different sizes of nails. We have the big one, we have the small one. So I'm going to use the one that is the size of our nails.
Nail art there. We ladies just love to look good all the time, and preference is the watchword, and moderation.
And I suspect
It wasn't me. Look at it now. My fingers are still... You would have seen the end product now. Anyway, you just look good the right way. All right, moving on. Let's take this Miss Grill, and it's all about a guitar performance by Y Peak. Let's enjoy it.
colorful and exciting occasion as artists and comedians converged to celebrate a very talented guitarist, Adeyemi Adetoye, popularly known as Y-Peak.
Me, but I expect a lot from Y-Peak, and of course, as a guitarist, I'm expecting so much from him. I'm sure he has prepared so much for this event, and of course, I expect comedians, my colleagues, to be around to support the show, and top artists, A-list artists that are going to be around. I expect a whole lot just to have fun. That's just the major thing.
I want to see the best of Y-Peak. I've been seeing Y-Peak every time he performs, so I want to see the best tonight.
When I went to meet my father-in-law, I told him, I said, Daddy, I'm in love with your daughter, I want to marry her. My father-in-law looked at me and said, good. Or you want kind of chase sins. Meaning, are you the one we have been waiting for since? Or is it another person? I don't know why my father-in-law asked me that question. Now, boom, now I tell him, say, oh, more. Meaning, it is me. Now the man say, good, sit down. Now sit down. Now I request, bring my briefcase. Then they bring the briefcase up. For the first time in my life, my father-in-law brought out the bride price list, 4 pages, front and back. Now the man stretched and give me, say, take. And stretch one hand to collect them. Now the man said, no, use 2 hands. I don't know why, because me, I just feel say, at least man just collect them, do well. You understand? Use 2 hands. Collect this with 2 hands. For the first time in my life, when I gave my father the bride price list, my father looked at me. For the first time in my life, my father called me his brother. My father looked at what was on the bride price list. He looked at me and said, my brother, Lord is your strength.
Y-Peak thrilled the audience with guitar performances of different popular Nigerian songs. The event was also attended by popular acts like Sound Sultan and comedians like Grand Commander. Y-Peak concert is to encourage youths to invest in their God-given talent and see a brighter future in whatever they do. It was a memorable beginning for Adeyemi Adetoye and an avenue for relaxation and entertainment for all amidst the hustle and bustle of life.
This is my first concert too, and I thank you guys for coming out. I thank everybody for coming out to support.
Well, great skills there from White Peak, and I think it tells that there's so much prospects for Nigerian music. If you look at the way youngsters are coming up these days, giving us so much in that regard, I'm sure there's prospects in that stuff.
Yes, indeed, especially if they have the right support and mentorship, because that's how they can grow. That's the only way. So well done, White Peak. We'll continue to put our eyes on you.
Well, that was so great. We're now going to call it a small break now, and then we'll be back. Don't go away.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, the Made in Nigeria campaign. In the midst of unprecedented multiple challenges, our great country Nigeria, as Africa's largest economy, is surely marching on to a new era of all-round prosperity, especially through re-engineered and diversified economy, powerfully driven by the change agenda of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR.
We will patronize local entrepreneurs. We will promote the manufacturing powerhouses. Our objective is to make Nigeria a new manufacturing hub.
It is not time to complain. It is time to join the campaign. It is time for economic recovery, growth and diversification of our economy. By Made in Nigeria.
Thank you for staying with us. Now let's talk about the family, which we know running the family is a serious and a big business. But this question we're about to ask is a big deal for a lot of people out there. Would you, operate a joint account with your spouse, pass them on?
Yeah, why not? I do. She's watching.
He's not sure.
No, I'm sure. I'm only waiting to open another one with you.
Let's go to the street. I beg.
Of course, I will be able to maintain a joint account with my spouse because a marriage is a union between a man and a woman whereby the two become one. So nothing is supposed to be hidden.
Yes, I will. Because everything depends on trust. Because once it's your spouse, because you guys have come together to agree in one thing. Because open a joint account with your spouse needs to do with agreement and trust. So I would love to do that with my spouse.
Joint account with my spouse, no. In as much as is a good idea having a joint account with your spouse, but I don't think I'll do. I don't really have a reason, but no, my mind tells me I shouldn't do it. And
yeah, of course. Why not? She's my spouse. She needs to know what comes in and what goes out and how everything is being run.
Joint account with my spouse, I feel is going to be very okay. My reason being that it's for family purpose, right? Okay, a situation whereby maybe probably we have issues at home. And maybe we don't have anything, we can actually use the savings for whatever we're planning for our savings for.
Yeah, why not? First of all, we're married. and we are one. We are no longer two. So everything to join us together, finances, materials, stuff like that, is good to go. So it's the best thing to do, and it's one thing that will make the relationship to be more stronger than ever.
If he wants it and if we can trust each other, yes, it would be nice, because this is the 21st century, so there are multiple income. I'll be working, he'll be working, and if it's a good thing that we should have a combined account, then yeah, it's fine.
No. Because I don't want. Because something might come up and everything must turn upside down, so. No, it's not as if I'm praying, but no, I can't, no now. Let everybody be on his own. Everybody control your money.
Of course, I will. As long as there's that mutual understanding among us, for whatever reason, I will everly do it.
Yes, because we both get alerts whenever money is deposited or withdrawn. So we won't be able to spend much on drinking, spend much on women, and I have access to the money anytime, any day. So I don't need to always say, please, 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 or can I get this? I just go straight to it.
Well, different reasons there, but it is not just insane I can do or I won't be able to do and all of that. It's not accepting to open an account and then you're running another one privately where you do your savings and all of that. That is not what opening a joint account means. If you really want to go into how it is done, meet some of us who are
you know, from the experts. Did you notice something, that the women were more into it? And that's a good sign. Is it not a good sign? But some men were arguing here in the studio that no, depending on the character. What is the essence of, you know, a union if there's no trust, if there's no understanding? If you marry that person and you know the person has a cunning attitude, why would you even go ahead?
Yes, Ruth,
if there's no openness.
Yes, I know. You know, the women will always support that, you know, because it's like, you know, the greater...
They have access all the time.
Not just access, but the greater contributors, you know, will always come from the other side. And so they're on the receiving end. And so sometimes they like, but I think it's good, though. Is good. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's look at this, what we have here for you on Book Talk. Why are the poor still with us? Why are the poor still with us? That's Book Talk for you this morning.
Humanity is in its form a life worth living. But of what use if the essence of humanity is swapped for a breakdown in values that should define who we are as a people? A picturesque view at a nation like Nigeria, one wonders why the anxiety, conquest and deprivation of what should be a norm, poverty. A part of our daily reality, one truth that is not hidden at every nook and cranny. And then you ask, why are the poor still with us?
The story of human poverty in Nigeria has become pervasive and extremely pathetic. The nation's productive capacity has been decimated symmetrically on the altar of bad leadership, occasioned by a prolonged era of military despotism, political ineptitude, instability, prevailing insecurity, and endemic corruption, which have eaten deep into the fabric, into the body fabric. These are worsened by lack of prudent planning, misplacement of national priorities, and mismanagement of natural resources, environmental degradation, the personalization of authority and the public treasury by public servants, the limited growth of investments and technological innovations, as well as widening income disparity.
In this book, the author, Senator Olabode Ola, shares his passion on the quest to eradicate poverty from our land, as he broke down the concept of poverty at different stages.
It has been said that 1.8 million people all over the world are extremely poor. You understand? That is, this is United Nations publication. And that after this figure, 93% of them are from South Asia, East Asia, and Sub-Saharan Africa. And Nigeria happens to be in Sub-Saharan Africa. So, which means that we are one of the people that are mostly affected. And this means the concern to me also because our area is badly affected. Of course, you also have a state of the mind, right? But the case is that we say somebody is poor or a group of people is poor when they are unable to make ends meet, when they lack the basic necessities of life.
Nigeria is a nation greatly endowed, as captured in the book. The largest producer of crude oil in Africa and the 6th producer of oil in the world. Yet, a significant number of her citizens are wallowing in abject poverty. The book also highlighted the causes of poverty, from overpopulation, unemployment, environmental degradation, among other factors that could pose dire consequences.
When we gained independence, particularly in the Fox regime, successive governments started coming up with programs and policies that will actually make people to live well, to have the best of life, right, to eradicate poverty, to make sure that there is no poverty among us. But really, all these programs, there is no faithful implementation, or people are not committed to these programs. Then again, the Nigerian factor of corruption. This management of resources, we have resources, physical resources, material resources, natural resources that can make us not to be poor. Poverty anywhere is a threat to posterity. And this is the one reason why we have to do the right thing. They say the rich cannot sleep because the poor are awake, and the poor are awake because they are hungry. And when the poor are awake because they are hungry, then there's danger for everybody.
Senator Olabode is a chartered accountant. He served as a senator in the 6th Senate between 2009 and 2011. His passion for development seeks to restore human dignity and transform the living standards of the vulnerable in society, as he provides some recommendations in the book in eliminating poverty in Nigeria.
There is something that I call triple strategy of poverty alleviation in the book. That is, how can we eradicate poverty? Agriculture, solid mineral development, and entrepreneurship studies. In agriculture, we have actually established that there is a way by which we can, actually elevate poverty. So when you have abundance of food, then poverty being alleviated. You know that there are policies that really have the interest of the poor masses. And there are policies that are just there just to benefit the rich. That, of course, has been demonstrated even from the design of the book. These are the affluent. You can see the houses, beautiful houses, and that. These are the scavengers. There's a dichotomy. The question, why is this dichotomy? What we're thinking of is how we can eradicate this group and eradicate this. Then we have the middlemen. 4 or 5 years will be on the path of long-term economic development.
Indeed, good governance, agriculture, tourism, education are no doubt sustainable long-term solutions to salvage this trend. However, fighting poverty is a daunting challenge that requires a multifaceted approach and with a collective responsibility. This is one chapter we may never visit again.
All right. Book talk there on Where the Poor Still with us. One book that says it all. And no wonder what Nelson Mandela said, I remember he said, like slavery and appetite, poverty is not natural. It is man-made, and it can be overcome and eradicated by actions of human beings. We can do it.
And I like that saying that the rich cannot sleep.
Yes.
Because the poor
are hungry.
Are awake. Yes.
All right, let's move on now. We take this next report, and it has to do with Night of Stars. How is it? Let's enjoy it.
involves a lot of techniques, which include good scripting, intelligent and creative directing, with a realistic ambience.
I would like to personally make a commitment here.
The average Nigerian filmmaker nowadays is keen into this realm. All these and more were emphasized during a 2-week camping experience of upcoming filmmakers.
Award of Creative Excellence Unleash Your.
This initiative was put together by 2ET Media Network in collaboration with Entrepreneurship Enhancement Center here in Abuja.
Unleash Your Creativity program is actually targeted at building and reshaping the talent of the youth who have a dream in becoming filmmakers. I was impressed with what I saw in there, which means the foundation has been laid down quite, well, and what they need presently is an encouragement and the continuous support of those who want to see them optimize their destiny in the film industry. We are going to pick few of them, and then personally, apart from making them to act in the movie, personally sponsor them also, so they could be able to actualize their dream, of becoming filmmakers.
The concept is to gather young filmmakers in a place together for 2 weeks and teach them filmmaking, make them become professionals in the shortest possible time. You know what it means for you to gather people like this together to do a film? You need people who already have some experience, but all they lack now is some form of coaching and mentorship. So what we do basically is to bring in professional filmmakers who are members of Directors Guild of Nigeria to mentor and tutor these young filmmakers and make them celebrities in the shortest possible time.
In this partnership, we're out to see season 3 a reality. So we've been involved in this program to make sure that from beginning, from the planning stage, we took it up to this level. Having to see young men being given capacity to produce film and participate in the film industry.
I was supervising both for the admin and the welfare, trying to see how everything goes on in the camp, both the documentation, how they are properly registered, where they sleep, and if there was any challenge in the camp, I was just going around to see everything is going on very well.
The program, tagged Unleash Your Creativity, is a project to enhance the filmmaking capacity and building of upcoming movie-making entrepreneurs. 50 young Nigerian filmmakers were camped, tutored and monitored by seasoned members of the Directors Guild of Nigeria. Participants were heavily taxed in the production of 2 short films dwelling on peaceful coexistence and malaria. This coexistence of diverse filmmakers gave birth to The Fifth Day and Misconception.
We just try to play our role, knowing fully what is happening around us today, and see how we can live together in peace, unity, so that there can be progress in our nation.
As a female DOP, I wouldn't say I faced so much challenges because I was working with some guys and most of them were they gave me positive response. It gave me much time to express myself in creativity and do things more. So I did everything I could within these 2 weeks.
It was quite challenging, but yet I somehow scaled through because the major challenges we had was just of the guerrilla movement that we have to shoot within 2 days. Now, we were given a topic to work on 3 days before, and then you have to script, screenplay, and then look for a location and then shoot.
I've learned so many experiences from UUC Unleash Your Creativity Season 3. I've learned from Mr. Lancelot Odua Masu when he said that, why are we here? Why do we want to be an actress? And that there is something he said that a destination without a purpose is unknown.
When it comes to movie making, you have to learn how to manage people, carry people along. Though it has not been really easy, but I thank God for so far so good. We have been able to conquer all. Today we're out with something.
Every good actor must have the ability to interpret characters. At first you must know your temperament. So I read the script, I understood the temperament of that local woman. She was always nice and kind to everyone. So my ability to put myself into her shoe was really easy because I understood her temperament.
If you attended this movie premiere, you'll be convinced that in the nearest future, Nollywood will be blessed with excellent and promising filmmakers, with movies telling the true story of Nigeria.
Well, very wonderful project there, trying to, catch them young. It's a talent hunt production, and I think I agree with what the producers of that project, are doing.
All about unleashing your creativity, because Nigerian youths are very talented. All you have to do, give them an opportunity, and you see what they can become.
Yes, and I want to believe that is in the near future with this kind of projects. The Nollywood industry in Nigeria is just going to be booming with a lot of filmmakers and actors in the...
Yes, indeed. And that's the show for today. Thank you so much for choosing to be part of it this weekend. We'll see you next weekend, God willing. Thank you. Bye-bye. Pass more.
Bye.